The only way to do great work is to love what you do. Now, you've probably heard this saying, do what you love and the money will follow. The reason why I have this conversation with you today is because I see so many people, they don't know what they want to do. They don't know what they love to do. And sometimes you do something that you're doing, but you don't really love doing it. So my question to all of you is this: what are you doing today that's making you happy, and what are the things that you do that's making you not happy? When people ask me, John, how do you know what you want to do? And I get asked that all the time. Like, why am I doing what I do? The question you have to ask yourself is, would you do the things that you do even if you didn't get paid money to do it? Would you do that thing that you do for free? So when I'm flying around the world and I get to speak around the world, it's what I love to do. Now, it's interesting because I know so many ways, like when it comes to making money and earning more income, like real estate makes a lot of money. So then I ask myself a question: why don't I spend more time just doing property? You know what I realized is that the thing that comes with the thing that you love to do, and to really be great at it, is you must love to do it. Like if you wake up every single day and you keep saying to yourself, why am I doing this? Why am I doing this? And it starts to feel like a chore, then it's probably not the right thing to do. I get so many people that say, John, should I quit my job? Should I find something else to do? But first of all, do you love doing what you love to do? Now that's a very simple question, but a lot of people can't answer that question correctly. The things that you're doing today, are you happy? And happy means, is it joyful? That does time go past a lot faster, or does it go really slow? And I see a lot of people when they're working in the job, it's like they're always looking at the watch every 5 minutes. That's when you know when your job is not the right fit. This quote, and I'm reading it here by Steve Jobs: the only way to do great work is to love what you do. I made a decision a long time ago that instead of just making money in property, which is great by the way, and I still buy property today, but it's just not something that I'm passionate about. I'm not passionate about looking at a property and going, oh, I want to buy that. Okay, I appreciate it. I mean, I'm in a beautiful location right now. I appreciate architecture. But ultimately, the question is, are you happy? You're asking yourself, you can't even answer it. That also gives you an indication. It should be, are you happy doing this? Yeah. John, do you love flying around the world and speaking on stage and inspiring people? Yes. Do you like flying to see a property? Maybe not. So this is what my advice for a lot of you is. If you are doing something that you don't love to do, you need to write down all the things that you don't like to do. And then you want to write down all the things that you do love to do. And all the things that you do love to do, these are the things that you want to double down on. For example, I love to inspire and speak people. That's why I love to create content when I'm flying around the world, because it feels like I want to have a conversation with a lot of you, because I get so many questions that people DM me, email me, and they're always like, George, should I do this or should I do that? Should I do this or should I pursue this? And I'm going to say this as well. What you do is not always where you're going to end up. I see too many people that sit down and say, John, I need to plan everything out first. It's going to be perfect. And they try and plan things. Unfortunately, it doesn't go the way they want it to go. That is just a redirection. I remember a friend of mine once said to me, he said, John, when you get rejected in life, it's not being rejected, you're just being redirected to something else. And when I heard that, I thought that was pretty powerful. So if you're working in the job and you don't like it, of course, you have to look at your financial circumstances. But if you don't like doing what you're doing, then you need to change it. You got to do something that is great. I had a conversation with a friend of mine yesterday, and she kept asking me the question, what do you want? What do you want? What do you want? What do you want? And I said to her, I want to do something that changes the world. I want to do something that makes an impact to the world. I want to leave this world greater than I left it. When I'm asking that question, I start coming up with all these different ideas. To truly do great work and to really love what you do, you must be passionate about it. She said to me, like, when you're around people, you always get lit up. When I'm around people and I'm spending time with the right people, you get energy from that. Because people ask me, John, where do you get your energy from? It's making decisions that produce the energy to follow through. In fact, a lot of people, if you ask them what they want, they can't tell you what they want. If you're doing something right now that is not making you happy, then you need to do something different. And it doesn't have to be a drastic change. It could be like a subtle change to do something a little bit different. For example, I love to inspire people. I love to give people ideas that can change their life. So then how can I do that on a bigger scale? One of the reasons why I love to travel around the world is meet great people. You know, for me now, it's taking a step back. Instead of being that person who's always pushing one company and then pushing it out there, it's, well, how can I lift other people up? How can I find other people that I can pass on my knowledge, my expertise to? And then how can I make these people shine? And I did that a few days ago with one of my students. He said to me, he said, John, I don't know what I want to do. I want to do investing, but I'm not sure how to do it. I said, you need to put a group of people together who are investors that all like the same thing. Kind of like, you know, the Think and Grow Rich book. It's called Building Your Own Mastermind. And actually, honestly, I didn't think he was going to do it. Because I get so many people say, John, I want to do this, I want to do this, I want to do this. And then they don't do it. A lot of people talk, but don't take action. But to my surprise, he messages my MD and he's like, I've got this thing running. Can you come and do a talk? And I was like, oh my God, he actually did it. You know that person's got a lot of potential when they actually follow through on what they say, and that's another thing as well. The only way you do great work is to love what you do. So my question to all of you is, do you love what you do? Would you do the thing you're doing even if you didn't get paid money for it? And then what's more important, the money of doing that thing or the doing the thing itself? You know, my team that sometimes say to me, John, you're flying halfway around the world, only paying you this much money, like it doesn't make sense. I know it doesn't make sense, but I'm not doing it for the money. I'm doing it because I want to inspire people. I do it because I want to say something to someone, and if at some level that message hits and changes their life, everything changes. And it's an important question. Time is finite. Every second that is gone forever. So then how do you make sure that what you're doing, you spend your time on something is actually worth the time? When I put my time to something, I will say, okay, what other uses does it have? I'll give you another example. I went to film school. I did animation, TV and film. I learned about animation, I learned about editing and things like that. It's funny now because when I travel around the world, I don't have to have a film crew with me. So I know how to do the camera setup, the lighting, the microphones, the sounds. I know how to do that stuff because I was trained how to do it when I was studying. And the skill sets that I thought that I didn't need back then is crucial right now. When I'm doing something, I'm always thinking about what other uses of this can happen. So one of the reasons why I did a lot of public speaking training, and a lot of you don't know this, but I used to have a stutter. I used to stutter, I couldn't get my words out sometimes. Like this was when I was a kid. So then one of the things I wanted to do, I wanted to make sure that when I communicated that people understood what I was saying. I wanted to articulate things in a way and simplify the words so people understood it. By acquiring that skill, is it going to do something else? Yes, it's going to make me communicate better to my team. It's going to allow me to communicate better to business partners. It's going to allow me to communicate better to investors. It's going to allow me to communicate better to my family, my wife. It has multiple uses. And then what happens is you start to enjoy that process. The problem I find a lot of people when they want to achieve something big, they want to get to the end result straight away. They say, John, I want to be a millionaire. It's not about becoming a millionaire. It's about knowing how to enjoy that process and allow that process to really grow the person you are. This message I want to give to you is important because so many people are doing things that they don't love to do. They're doing things that they hate doing. In fact, they get up every morning with anxiety thinking, I've got to get into work, I've got to do this. And by the way, I'm not just saying this for a job, like businesses as well. I know a lot of people that quit their job, started a business, but they hate their businesses. They hate what they do. They hate having to get up and deal with clients and deal with refund requests and deal with complaints and things. They hate that stuff. So then where is the happy medium? If I ask you this question, would you rather have $1 million and then have all the time and freedom in the world? Or would you rather have $10 million and be stressed out every single day, having to think about things and get pulled from left to right? Like most people would say, actually, John, I want the million without all the hassle, without all the stress, without all the risk. This is a serious question. Are you doing what you're doing and are you loving what you're doing? Because every time you're not doing something that you love to do, you're almost killing a bit of your soul. People say, oh, you're selling out. Or you're doing this because you're just doing it for the money. Or you're doing this because you're doing it because of this. That is not building that person you are inside. Like for me, I want to be inspired every single day. I want to have ideas. That's why when I'm creating this content for you, I want to make sure that at some level, it's going to move a piece of you. At some level, it's going to make an impact. It's going to create that little ripple effect. And by the way, I hope that it's done that for a lot of you. Like something I say, like one thing I say, one sentence I say, one quote I say can actually make an impact to people's lives. I had a friend, this is 8 years ago, he had an idea to educate people on health. His father had cancer. The hospital and the doctors told him he only had so much time to live. He was able to extend his life for up to 5 years just by changing the diet. And he's like, why don't people teach this stuff? And that became his message. Sometimes we turn our mess into a message. Sometimes a lot of you have something that inside you think is holding you back, but that could be the very thing that propels you forward. It's interesting, I was speaking to another friend of mine and I was telling him about my history and all the shit I had to go through when I was a kid. And you know, Chinese kids, they go through some interesting strictness with parents, if you know what I mean. Did that make me tougher or did it make me weaker? Was it like, oh, I want to show my parents that I can do great things? Sometimes when things happen, we think that it's going to be, why did this happen to me? But actually sometimes it can be a blessing in disguise. And again, this is very different to a lot of the content that I create, but I think it's important because how you think determines how you feel determines what you will do determines where you're going to be in the future. And I think too many people, they stay stale. You do not want to stay stale. You want to do something bigger. You want to do something greater, bigger than you. Inside every single one of you, there's a bigger version of you inside of you. And you know what I'm talking about. if this message has resonated with you, if you had a lot of value from this, do me a favor, leave a comment below. Maybe you're struggling to go through something, make a decision. Leave a comment below. I would love to give you my 2 cents on what I would do, because I just really want to help a lot of people. You probably feel it. I really want to help people become and achieve the things that they've always wanted to do, except they don't have the courage to do it. They don't know how to do it. They don't have the right strategies, they don't have the right coach, the right mentor. I really want to be that person for a lot of you, whether it's starting a new business, whether it's on a new venture, whether it's making a big decision. It's really helping you grow to the next level. And that's why I always say that wherever we are right now, there's a plateau. We want to always get to the next level. New level, new devil, as they say. So again, if you love this as well, do me a favor, hit the like button, because it'll help the algorithm, so new videos upload that you'll see it. And also hit the subscribe button, so every time I upload a video, then you'll be notified of that. And also, if you know anyone who's going through a tough time, send this video to them. If you know someone who has a lot of potential and they're doing things that they know that you know that they should not be doing, and they have so much potential to do something else, this video could literally change the whole trajectory of their life. I know it worked for me, I know it's worked for a lot of people, and I really hope that this has resonated with you. I'll link a few videos here as well. For those of you looking to start a business, you can check some stuff out, but I still look forward to seeing you in the next video. This is John Lee, your mentor, checking out. Check these videos out. Bye for now.